Hi, David here. G'day from down under at Go Fun Places Oz. Today's video is about a two-part series on wines of New Zealand. This is for wine and food lovers. Small-scale vineyards were planted with early settlement, and it languished this way for over 150 years. But it was Australian expertise that saw the opportunity in the early 70s that helped influence and develop the industry in New Zealand. New Zealand is a premium New World winemaking country, a relative new grower of wines for the export market. It's in a cool, clean environment, producing award-winning wines and quality wines that are exported worldwide. New Zealand is best known internationally for sauvignon blanc, and of recent years started growing pinot noir, chardonnay, pinot gris, riesling, cabernet sauvignon, merlot and sparkling wines. There are a number of small holdings of other varieties, but I have not taken these on board in this post. As normal, you will see many more images on this video than you will see within the post. It wasn't until the early 90s that overseas markets started to take notice, and wine critics from the world over fell in love with New Zealand's Sauvignon Blanc. And they spoke about it in these terms: arguably the best in the world, like a child that inherits the best of both parents. The exotic aromas found in Sauvignon Blancs from New Zealand have the pungency and limey acid of the old world Sauvignon Blancs like Sancerre from the Loire Valley. Now let's talk a little about soil types and the influence on finished wines. Much of the wine grapes are grown in what I call hungry conditions, with lots of stone and rock. More than 50% of wine grapes grown in New Zealand is in the Hawke's Bay area. This area soil type is known for gimlet gravels. It's a former riverbed with very stony soils that lowers fertility and acts as a heat store that tempers the cool sea breezes. In the Waipara, Canterbury, there are parts that are limestone deposit. In the valley floor, the Waikato alluvial soils show high calcium carbonate concentrate that can be witnessed from the milky waters that flow down the Waipara River. The Kawara Valley has a thin topsoil over bedrock that produces low cropping grapes and an increased intensity in the wine. Now let's look at the climate of New Zealand. The wine regions of New Zealand stretch from latitude 36 degrees south in the north, which is comparable to the latitude of Jerez in Spain, to 45 degrees south, which is comparable to the latitude of Bordeaux in France. But the influence of the maritime climate in New Zealand is cooler summers and milder winters. The climate's influence on the wines: in the North Island, the wines tend to be softer, more ripe, and show more tropical characters, whereas in the South, the styles are showing crisper, lighter, more vibrant styles. Now next is a chart from the wine industry showing the plantings within New Zealand. Note that Sauvignon Blanc is by far the greatest volume with over 50%. Both Pinot Noir at 15% and Chardonnay at 13%. Then it drops dramatically. Now the industry is very aware of this dependence on Sauvignon Blanc. Not that they want to stop or slow the exports, but they need to encourage production and sales of additional varieties. On my post, I've listed the main varieties being Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, Riesling, Pinot Noir, Merlot. You need to refer to my descriptions on styles and tastings for each of them. Now, when tasting wines, you need to savour the flavours. In white wines, they are often referred to as fruit-like characters, such as citrus, melon, passion fruit, stone fruit, or apples. In red wines, they tend to be referred as strawberry, raspberry, cherries, and plums. Flintiness comes from the growing conditions, and you get that flinty type flavours. Acid tends to provide crispness and clean finish to the wines. Tannins in red wines can be soft or harsh. As wines age, you tend to get earthy, mushroom type characters. Now back to that face for radio. I hope this information has been of help. Part 2 of this series will be on the post in the next few days. It will be on the wine regions of New Zealand that are very different. As you can see on the map, they range from the top of the North Island to the bottom of the South Island. New Zealand is a high quality and unique wine industry. I hope when you visit you really enjoy it. At any rate, bye for now. See you shortly. David.